Hi everyone, it's me Jagesh and I am back with a new video, and this video is going to be the second installment for my zodiac collection, which is called of the zodiac cancer. I'm sorry, why am I remembering of the elements collection? But yeah, anyways, so this is the second design for the collection, and I head first want to apologize for me disappearing for a long time. The main reason why I was not able to record or upload videos for the last 2 months was because I had exams. And if you don't already know, I am in 10th grade, and the exam student has to give in 10th grade is kind of like the most important exams he has to give in his entire life. Like, one of them, not the most important, but yeah, it will decide which college you go in and etc. Blah, 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 blah. Let's not discuss about it. It's an arts channel, not a study channel. So yeah, so it actually took me a while to get to this illustration, to be honest. The reason for that was I first wanted the second design to be Taurus, and as we all know, Taurus is the bull and it comes after Aries. So I wanted to go in a chronological order of doing this collection, or completing the designs of this collection. But when I finished the rough sketch of my Taurus illustration, which can be found on my Instagram, the link will be in the description box down below, so make sure to go follow me there. And when I inked it turned out horrible. Like, it was just a disaster. So, and whenever I tend to ruin a piece, I tend to take a break from it. So I took a break from that, and then I jumped onto Sagittarius because I also sketched that one before Cancer, and I really liked the rough sketch. It turned out absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So I went with that, and I colored it, and once again, yay! I ruined it. So I was like, okay, we're going with Cancer now. And to be honest, I am really happy with this illustration. It turned out so great, and especially the face. Like, I remember the face on my art teacher when I showed him this illustration. He was like, "Are you sure you're the one who drew the face?" And that gave me a very good feeling. That was legit. Like, I felt as if I accomplished something. And yeah, and overall I think this illustration is one of my favorites out of all the illustrations I have ever created, mostly because the face. I'm gonna be honest, the face in the rough sketch, the face was rather innocent looking. It was very like she was not this strong, bold character. But in this, as you know, it's a really thick paper. So when I traced it on the watercolor paper, and I don't own a light box, so what I tend to do is I have a glass table at my house, so I just stick a phone in there with the flashlight on and use that to trace it. And that actually works, but it does not work to a large extent because you obviously can't see a lot of details of this nice thick paper because it's not as, how do I say, bright. So I have been meaning up to save for a light box. We'll see where that goes. And yeah, and you will see that I skipped some of the parts. It's because, you know what, I'll just leave it. I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna say it. My camera died. I did not know that it died, and I continued working on the face, and then blah 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 blah. So yeah, moving on. I once again did the underpainting in blue because that was the dominant color in this entire illustration, or until I colored everything else. Because the sky is blue and the rock is also a little tiny part. And I've also heard that adding a bit of blue or green into the skin can make it look a bit more realistic. And I have been trying to incorporate a bit more realism in my illustrations. Not realism as in drawing photorealistic portraits of people, as in, you know what I mean. I'm really lost for words right now. Yeah, anyways, so moving ahead, this illustration did take me a long time. I believe it took me 5.5 hours, because it took me an hour to do the rough sketch. I had a lot of figuring out to do for the composition, how the dress would flow, the hair, etc., etc. But even though I feel her hair does look like a huge chunk in this illustration, not as free flowing or as dynamic I would have wanted it, but I still like it a lot. Especially her forelock, that looks a bit weird, to be honest. So yeah. If there was one thing I would change in this illustration, was that forelock that you will see. It does look a bit weird, but yeah. And she did turn out a bit fatter, or shorter than my early illustrations, but I don't really mind because I think she looks cute, to be honest. And yeah, so yeah, what do we talk about next? And yeah, so head first I'm gonna say this as well. The day this video is going up, I am leaving for a camp with my friends for like 10 days. So I will be gone for another 10 days. So I'm really sorry about that as well. You won't see more videos from me for the next 10 days, but I do plan on uploading on a weekly schedule once I come back from the trip and I have a bit more time on my hands. And yeah, so for the composition for Cancer, as you all know, it's a water element, so I really wanted to incorporate water somehow in this illustration, and I was not able to do that with Aries because, as you might know, Aries is a fire element, fire zodiac. The element that governs Aries is fire. So yeah, I know I'm really confused today. Anyways, so yeah. So I decided that she should stand on a rock, and then you know how they show in animes, like, and even Little Mermaid, like the waves come clashing on the rock and it looks really majestic and everything. So I decided to do that for this illustration, and I think the waves turn out pretty nice. You will see them in the earlier parts, but they don't have the same watercolor essence as the entire illustration because they turn out a bit more opaque. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast. But yeah, as for the color choice of her dress, I chose pink. And as most of you know, pink lies nowhere. Why am I saying pink? It's pink. Pink lies nowhere in the color spectrum of Cancer. So I was a bit hesitant to do that at first. Like, I did not know if I should go with the pink or should I not, or should I just render the dress in some of the color. But I thought that, you know, crabs are generally red, so, and Cancer is obviously a crab, so I decided to go with a pink color rather than a solid red because I thought it would just be too much on the eye. So yeah, so I decided to go with a pink, and the fabric I chose was actually a sort of a light flowy satin kind of a fabric that did affect the way I rendered the dress. As you might have seen, I did add a bit of blues and grays to the shading of the corset, and I think I limited that a bit in the shading of the skirt, but I do think that the skirt has to be my favorite part of this entire illustration. It just looks really flowy and I like it a lot. And yeah, so as with my other illustration, I decided to also incorporate gold in this illustration. It's actually something I'm planning to do, to incorporate gold in all of the illustrations. In a way, I don't have a particular reason as to why. It's just a stylistic decision, or a decision that I decided to choose for this collection. And yeah, and I don't know what else to talk about right now, so maybe I will add some music now and come back later when the drawing has progressed a bit more. So the drawing is coming along. As you might have seen, I colored the hair, the base coat of the hair, in a very rich red color, and that kind of bugged me a bit because it looked rather unnatural, and I really wanted the hair to look a bit natural even though they were red. And yeah, so I decided to dull the color a bit and bring it down. So I decided to glaze it with raw umber, which, if you don't know, is a color obviously. And I had quite a bit of fun painting those gold details and everything. It was really nice to paint. And yeah, so I think I really don't know what else to talk about. I really should have thought something, but what can we do, right? But yeah, so what I did with this illustration was I decided to, what did I decide? Yeah, the rock was pretty fun to paint as well. Like, it went a bit smoothly than the other one, like those in the Aries illustration, though it does not look that much of a rock, and I don't really mind because meh to be honest. And yeah, so yeah, I did struggle a bit with the corset, like getting the shading right and making it look like the satin-ish kind of a fabric. I hope I succeeded there. I don't really know, but yeah. And the waves were a bit of a struggle because I really haven't painted water ever. Like, ever. I don't know how to paint moving water. So when I painted those waves, I really liked them in their initial stages, but I kept working and working and working, and I did a pretty bad thing. I decided to add white, and that was a bit of a bad decision because then after that the wave lost its watercolor effect. It does look like a wave, but it looks more opaque, like it was done with gouache or acrylic. So yeah, that's one decision I regret. And another thing that I would change in this drawing is the way the hair flows. Like, I think I talked about it later, but it flows in a big ass chunk, like seriously, and I don't think it looks as natural, but I still like it. And yeah, I did the experiment with a new camera angle, which you will see in the later parts. I decided to film with a new angle, and I think it looks cool, to be honest. Like, I like it having a bit of a variety in the angle of the camera than just there being overhead shot. And yeah, I don't know what else to talk about in this video, so I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and a simple like and share will greatly support this channel and the videos I make. So yeah, and yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out all the social media in the description box below. All of my social media accounts in the description box below. I have Pinterest, Facebook, all that kind of jazz. That's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.